Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain! Aye, aye, Captain!
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
I'm a candy cadet. Come get your candy here. I have candy all day, every day. Candy, candy, candy.
Now I will tell you a story called Five Nights at the Krusty Krab. There was a man named Eli Floyd. Eli was not a very rich man. In fact, he had no money to pay rent. Eli lived in Los Angeles, by himself, in the year 2007. During this time, animatronic-themed restaurants were not a big hit, for none could compete with the sensation that was Chuck E. Cheese. However, a crack team from Nickelodeon, the famous studio in children's entertainment, decided to make a couple of restaurants. These restaurants would have animatronics that would sing, serve burgers and play with the kids. A fantastic idea that would sure to be recognized quickly. One restaurant was named the Krusty Krab and the other the Chum Bucket. Their designs would be based off of the popular television show, as were the animatronic characters. Since the Chum Bucket required more technology to function, the Krusty Krab was opened first. In order to keep the animatronics safe from harm, a night guard was required. This is where Eli Floyd came in. Desperate for work, he was prepared to work the night shift. Although what seemed to be a simple job at first, he knew something was off on his first night. Instead of being a place of fun, he had instead walked into a trap that he would have to survive for 17 nights.
o'clock midnight.
Hello? Hello? Oh, hey. Welcome to your new job at the brand new Krusty Krab restaurant. So I'm the manager of this store, and I've been given a list of instructions to help you get settled into your new and exciting career with us. We're very glad to have you on board here. So, first off, welcome to the new Krusty Krab. You may be familiar with some of the older restaurants in the chain, notably the original store as well as the Krusty Krab 2, but this is a brand new store, and as you can tell, in a brand new location. As you already know, I'm the manager here, appointed by Mr. Krabs himself, to be honest, and I've selected you as the night watchman here. That means it's your job to watch over the place as well as the other employees for me. Oh yeah, I should probably let you know, instead of me hiring a brand new crew, Mr. Krabs simply staffed the kitchen here with animatronic replicas of his old employees and neighbors. Krabs isn't known to be the most trusting person, especially with his money and secret recipe, so I guess it does make a bit of sense. Anyway, speaking of valuables, they're located in a safe behind you, so it's your job to lock down the office in case you see any intruders. You can do this by closing the blast doors on either side of the room. Just bear in mind that at night we switch over to a backup generator with a limited supply of power. Closing those blast doors, as well as using any other electrical equipment, will increase the strain on that generator. If you use too much, the restaurant will go dark and you'll be completely vulnerable. One last thing, if you notice any electrical equipment acting up, like lights flickering or something, the most likely cause is the animatronics. They've been designed to draw power from an outside source to save on their own energy costs. So if you notice the office lights flashing, then it probably just means they've wandered up onto the landing out the front of you. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good luck and have a good night. again. How was your first night? I hope you didn't get too much trouble. Something I forgot to mention last night. If you've been flicking through your camera feed, you might have noticed that, you know, the one in the fuse room has a door and a light switch similar to the ones in your office. If I were you, I'd keep an eye on that camera, just to make sure there's no one sneaking around back there. If someone got in, they could do all kinds of nasty stuff to your equipment. Lights could go haywire, doors cease to function. It would not be pretty, is all I'll say. Oh, one last thing. Don't ask how, but we discovered something rather interesting about the animatronics today. Sometimes they start behaving oddly, and will even simply stare into space. It's pretty creepy, but we found that flashing a bright light into their eyes seems to fix any abnormal behavior. So, make sure you keep that in mind. I trust you have your flashlight with you. Anyway, I've got to get going. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good night. Hey, wow, night 3 already? You're a real natural at this. Mr. Krabs is pretty pleased with the way things have been going. From what I hear, this restaurant's already made back its cost with interest, so I'm sure he's happy about that. By the way, have you seen his animatronic around? The thing seems to lurk around the left side of the restaurant during the day. I'm not sure where he might be during the night, but, you know, I'd keep an eye out for him by the left stairs. I'll be honest, the initial excitement of working with robots has sort of worn off. They're actually starting to creep me out a little. But I've said too much. I'm sure they're no trouble at night. Anyway, I'll call you again tomorrow, but, you know, only if I need to let you know something. Have a good night. Oh, hey! Congrats on almost making it through your first week. I know I said I wouldn't call you tonight unless there's an emergency, but keep an eye on the animatronics for me. They've been acting really off today. One of them even tried to get into the office during a quiet period. I managed to get it out using the flashlight trick, but I'm not sure how well that'll work at night, if they're already inside the office. There's a fair bit of lights in there to begin with. Anyway, keep your guard up. I'll keep you posted. Stay safe. Hey, things are bad, to say the least. I wasn't able to get a warning to you before the door's locked for the night. But consider this as that warning. Once the doors open at 6 a.m., get out as fast as you can. The animatronics, they attacked me today. chased me all the way up to the office where I managed to lock myself in until I saw an opening to get away. Now, that worked for me. During the day, we have no power restrictions, but, well, your generator won't work like that, unfortunately. Stay safe, my friend. I look forward to finally meeting you after all this. Face to face, you know. Good luck. I think you're gonna need it.
Recording safety message 24. Take 3, action. If you're hearing this, then you're in grave danger. This restaurant has likely been abandoned under the Krusty Krab Operating Handbook, Section 19, Paragraph 87. The establishment has likely been overrun by a threat that is attempting to breach the safe and obtain the Krabby Patty secret formula, most likely under Plankton's direction. At the next possible occasion, leave the restaurant and never return. This is for your own safety. I repeat, get out of there as soon as possible. If by some horrible luck you're locked in there overnight, may God have mercy on your soul. Alright.
And, with that, the restaurant was closed forevermore. The building simply stood there, silent and empty. In time, folks forgot of the restaurant's existence, despite the success of the first few weeks. The disaster that occurred there was swept under the rug, unnoticed for the rest of time. Well, almost, if it wasn't for Eli. Despite the fire and being attacked by the animatronics, Eli had survived. Unfortunately for him, the fire was no accident. In order to keep him quiet, the ones that caused the fire found and kidnapped Eli. They locked him away, in a place no one would ever find him. Simply because the place was still not officially open. There was only one man that could save him. The manager, the one responsible for Eli's misfortune, would now be his only hope of getting him out.
Hello? Hello? Oh my god. I've been trying to contact you for days. Where are you? I saw the flames across town. The restaurant, they burned it down. The animatronics.
Well, that's enough of that then. Why, hello there. You must be the old security guard. I've been told so much about you from my superior. Allow me to introduce myself. For all intensive purposes, I am the second in command here at the Chum Bucket, and my boss has put me in charge of you. You and your buddy on the phone there have caused us quite a lot of trouble by escaping that fire. We can't have anyone finding out what happened at the old restaurant. That's where you come in. No doubt your friend out there is gonna come and find you. So, we're keeping you alive until that happens. Essentially, you're gonna be acting as bait. Don't get any hope from that, though. You're still on our hit list. Though, unlike my superior, I prefer a much more indirect method of killing my prey. Let me explain. You're not alone in this restaurant. Inside is a group of animatronics, just like your old job. This time, though, their sole function is to kill you. From the hours of 12 until 6 in the morning, those doors at the side of your office are going to be open, and you'll be a very easy target. However, as I'm a good sport, I've given you access to the restaurant's surveillance systems through the monitor on your desk. Using it, you'll be able to track their movements, and if they get too close, you can close one of the doors on either side of the room. Simple enough, right? We don't even have power restrictions here. Nothing to worry about. There's a catch, though. The doors have a malfunctioning heatsink, and thus will overheat and short out if they're kept closed for too long. On top of this, the generator can only supply 2 pieces of equipment with power at any one time, and that includes both doors, the camera, and the flashlight on your desk. So be sure to use them strategically. That's all for tonight, though. There's more to tell, but it's not quite relevant yet. I'll let you know when the time comes. Anyway, good luck. You're really gonna need it. I take it from the lack of red mist spattered on that window, that means you survived your first night. One of the things I forgot to mention last night was the relevance of the air ducts throughout the facility. The animatronics, well, one of them, might try to get into your office through them. Though, don't worry. We've given you remote control over the ventilation covers directly above your office, which you can access from inside your security cameras. The catch is, well, you'll figure it out. Fortunately for you, they don't even count towards your power budget. Speaking of that, on your desk there's a button marked Overdrive. That's linked to the generator downstairs. It'll allow you to use an extra piece of equipment for a short time. Be careful though, as it'll have to cool down. It'll also scramble any animatronics that are standing too close to it. I think there's one in particular that might try and go down there to mess with it. Keep an eye on that, would you? Make sure you watch everyone else as well. I don't think they're gonna let up just because there's something new to worry about. Anyway, I'll talk to you again tomorrow night. If you're still here, that is. Bye-bye.
Hello? Hello? Oh, you're still alright. Okay, I know you can't respond to me, but I just need you to hold out just a few more nights, okay? I'm trying to pinpoint your location. I should only need 1 or 2 more days. Don't worry, we'll get you out of there safely.
How on earth did that happen? You wouldn't be betraying your new chums at the chum bucket, would you? Well, anyway, remember what I said last night about the window? Yeah. Make sure you keep an eye on that hallway. You can use your flashlight. If you manage to shine it in an animatronic's eyes, it'll probably stay there. One drawback is, well, it's bolted to the table, so it'll only work if something's standing right in the center of that hallway. Oh, and one last thing. My boss gave me a memo for you. It reads, Krabs is a backstabbing traitor. That's all for now. Good night, friend. Do you believe in ghosts? No? Me neither. Keep doing what you're doing. From the sound of it, your friend's getting closer and closer to our little trap. Don't worry. This'll all be over very, very soon.
Hello? Hello? Oh, good. Nothing terrible's happening. I'm so glad you're safe. I found out where you are. It's a large metal building, quite a ways away. I'm coming there now, but there's a chance that
Doesn't he know it's rude to interrupt? Well, it looks like this is it. Your last night here. It's been great having you, really. But a deal's a deal, and I don't get my paycheck until neither of you leave here alive. Goodbye. This is the last time we're gonna speak to one another. In this life, at least.
Hello? Can you hear me? I can't get in. The doors out here, they're bolted tight. Just hold out. Just a little longer. I'll try and think of something.
Hello? I can see you through the glass. The doors, they're stuck fast. I can't get it open. Could you try from your side?
But that was not the end. For the company had big plans for Eli and the manager. Originally, they were going to turn both into animatronics. But seeing Eli's survival skills, they instead used him as a test subject. To see if he could survive against the most aggressive machines he would ever come across. The original animatronics were scrapped. Some were then fused together, others were reworked. But one was special. Half man, half machine. What once was Eli's friend, his colleague, was now an animatronic with intelligence, speed and under the control of the one behind all of this. And what better place to test them but an old underground war factory?
I'm sad that I never got to meet you in person. Not under good circumstances, at least. As much as I would like to stop this, my mind and body are no longer my own. They belong to him now. I cannot help but revel in the immense strength I have been given.
The following educational tape is classified and restricted for viewing only by authorized personnel. If you're watching this video, then you must be an engineer aboard one of the United States' finest Type 63 submarine nuclear power stations. The purpose of this and other installations like it is to provide the American Navy fleet with the energy and munitions during potential long voyages to engage in battles in enemy waters. The existence of this installation is considered to be highly classified and should never be disclosed to anyone not designated by your commanding officer or the President of the United States. Punishment for breaking this oath of secrecy is, well, I'm sure you know. Your primary duty here is to ensure nothing goes awry with the power station. The entire system has been perfected by the finest engineers to require zero operator input to maintain functionality. So kick back, unless you see something out of the ordinary, such as a Class E event, as detailed in Section 6, Paragraph 2 of your handbook. You have been budgeted a limited amount of electricity to power your workstation, and whatever approved equipment you have brought with you, such as televisions and portable music players. The allotted power is recharged by the reactor as normal, but runs off a separate circuit. The batteries that recharge your personal power supply will recharge automatically when the breaker switch next to the fuse box is thrown. So remember to do that before bed, or else you'll wake up without lights. Addendum. While previously you were not required to engage unless a suitably catastrophic failure or anomaly occurred, a recent Class E event in which had caused severe damage to the cables supplying the reactor's coolant pump with power. Due to a shortage, we have had to patch the coolant pump into your personal power supply, which may increase the load onto that circuit. We ask you please be mindful of this unfortunate change and do not shirk this responsibility. If the reactor goes into meltdown, you or your family will be held accountable and charged with sabotaging the war effort. End addendum. Thank you, Cadet, and feel proud that you are doing an imperative part on the ongoing war. America salutes you. Classified and restricted for viewing only by authorized personnel. This is a bulletin intended for engineers aboard Type 63 Nuclear Power Station. Recently, site has had issues with pinhole leaks in the ventilation shafts. This is believed to have been caused by a batch of shoddy rivets used to hold the paneling together. It is advised to keep an eye on ventilation shafts due to the risk of causing another Class E event, so the location will be fitted with a camera in the vents. While we can assure you that a Class E event is unlikely, we still ask you check the ventilation from time to time and investigate any strange noises you hear. Thank you, Cadet, and feel proud that you are doing an imperative part in the ongoing war. America salutes you.
Is classified and restricted for viewing only by authorized personnel.
This is a bulletin intended for the engineers aboard Type 63 nuclear power stations. Recently, an engineer at site noted a Class E event in which an unidentified terrorist cell infiltrated the station via a submarine dock. It is believed their aim was to exploit a flaw in the reactor's safeguards and send it into an immediate meltdown. Luckily, to the quick thinking of the on-site engineer, he managed to create a device capable of creating a feedback loop to send a sharp pulse of electricity out through the reactor, quickly dispatching the terrorist cell. In addition to rewarding this ingenuity, we have taken action in installing a refined version of his invention in every station. You can activate it via the large button on your desk. If you see any strange behavior in the reactor room, you are heavily encouraged to dispatch the intruders with the electric shock. Please bear in mind that the usage of this device under normal circumstances is not recommended, as while the risk to the reactor is low. The feedback loop will destroy the fuses keeping your appliances safe, so ensure the button is only pushed when absolutely necessary. Again, you have been provided with spare fuses in the drawer on your desk. Thank you, Cadet, and feel proud you are doing an imperative part in the ongoing war. America salutes you.
The following educational tape is classified and restricted for viewing only by authorized personnel.
This tape has been sent out to inform engineers of Type 63 nuclear power stations that your duties have been fulfilled and your service is complete, effective immediately. The wall has fallen in Berlin, and the war is effectively won. American Navy vessels will be dispatched to collect you once the resources can be spared, and Type 63 stations will be decommissioned effective immediately. Thank you, Cadet. You have played your part and brought great honors to your country. America salutes you. following educational tape is classified and restricted for viewing only by authorized personnel.
.28 a.m.
Hello, hello. I always wondered why you answered the phone like that. You know, I wasn't sure this was how the story would end. Hell, I barely even believe any of it happened at all. I was broke, living in LA, and I accepted a job which paid just to make rent. Man, does that sound like the start of a B-grade horror flick? Doesn't make it much better that I was in a Nickelodeon-themed restaurant. Honestly, I'd have made more money if I took the ad and wrote the movie it was begging me to write, but nope. Instead, I called them up and aced the interview like an absolute sucker. Go me, I guess. I wasn't even there a day before I realized things were off. Apparently, the whole thing was caused by this one guy with ties to TBS. I think he and Eugene from Viacom had been feuding privately over some dirty investments, and you and I got caught in the middle. After the incident in the power plant, I woke up 3 months later in Iceland. Apparently, I made a break for it after you went psycho and got away. I still don't know how. I got picked up by a fisherman and his crew. I tried to tell my story, but, of course, no one believed me. How could they? I was stalked halfway across the ocean by SpongeBob characters. What else am I supposed to say? I still think I'm insane just writing this, but I don't even think I could make this up if I desperately wanted to. I had myself admitted as soon as I got back to the States. The night terrors just wouldn't stop, and I needed all the help I could get. I could see its face. your face whenever I closed my eyes or walked into a dark room. How screwed up is that? Well, it's no matter now, I hope. The doc's given me the go-ahead to be discharged. Thankfully, they've got a job lined up for me. I'm a night guard. Jesus, why did I even say yes to that? Well, it should be fine. I'm just watching a mall in some backwater town in Oregon. Myriad Square Gardens, I think it's called. Hopefully no more mascots, no more robots, and no more fear. Anyway, this is my last journal entry from the hospital, so wish me luck back out in the wide world. From the Journal of Eli Floyd, former night guard at the Krusty Krab-themed restaurant in Santa Monica, May 9th, 2007. Adios, Hammerhead.
That is the end of the video. For those of you who got to the end, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and check out the description for links to more phone call videos. Interview with Dakota Wood, creator of Five Nights at the Krusty Krab. YouTube channels of the voice actors. As usual, if you have any suggestions for phone call videos, then please leave a comment below. Now, it's time I went back to handing out candy. 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 Candy.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.